welcome, you amazing liberators and lovers of democracy out there. This is the latest, most exciting episode of Two Bar Connection with your host, Jesse, and...
James, what's happening, super citizens?
Yes, what is happening indeed? We are live from now the OBS studios. So for those of you looking out there, if you're looking through YouTube, you'll notice that now we are no longer using Riverside, and we have now transitioned to OBS, which lets me do a lot of really cool shit right now. Like, say, I don't know, transition over to...
Oh, look at that.
Scenes, bro. Look at this. Articles.
Dude, we could now, man. Look at that. We're big time YouTubers now.
Yeah.
Legitimate reaction content for you guys.
Yeah. You didn't ask. We're gonna fucking tell you anyways, right? So, but before we get into all that, how are you doing, man?
Well, if you guys didn't pick up from our patriotically charged intro, we've caught the Helldivers bug.
We caught the virus of liberty.
We literally caught the virus of liberty, and we literally have the urge to just nonstop spread democracy all over the place.
And no, that is not a euphemism. Well, if it is a euphemism, if it's a euphemism for shooting bugs in the face,
or automatons,
or dirty robots, right?
Yeah, liberty, please smite them all. They suck ass. God, they're so. It's so awful.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's just been really what we've been doing. I've actually had like about a week off from work, with the exception of one day, like in the middle, where I had to actually go to work. And but I've just been spending the whole time playing Helldivers with Jesse and with our other boy Manny as well. And goddamn, dude, that game really did take us by surprise. Yeah.
I know, right? Oh, I mean, before I go sucking this game's dick, I just want to give a shout out to Manny. Thanks, man, for helping us out with this OBS stuff. This wouldn't have been possible without you. Because we were really scratching our heads over this. We didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Yeah, because we know that OBS is honestly the software that a lot of people that we follow use. And it's 100% free, but it obviously, usually with programs like that, user friendliness comes at is what is usually costed and missing. So we really do thank him for it, for showing us the ropes, and for honestly continuing to show us the ropes, because he'll probably show us some more stuff that we can do with OBS later. So Manny, this episode is dedicated to you, my man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We were talking about, all right, liberty, right? So
oh, he's also a huge liberty spreader.
Yes, he's also a fellow liberty enjoyer as well. He enjoys democracy and liberty and freedom, just like any good super citizen of Super Earth would. Right? Yeah. What a surprise! Like, what an amazing surprise this game was, because I don't know about you, but I personally wasn't really paying too much attention to it. Like, I just saw like, oh, it's a funny Star Troopers game, right? That's all I saw. Like,
yeah.
I didn't see anything outside of the initial trailers they showed at the State of Play, and I heard it was gonna be a live service game. So like, I don't know, man. Okay, which by the way, we will be talking about a not so good live service game in this episode that didn't do too hot. But Helldivers is not one of them. This is a true live service success story.
It really is. And again, I'm like Jesse. I didn't think much of it. From what I heard, it was essentially 4-player co-op that you go into worlds and you do missions and stuff. It had, and like Jesse said, heavy Starship Troopers tropes and tone. And well, they had already made a Starship Troopers game at the beginning of 2023, was it?
Yeah, I think it was last year.
Yeah, it was last year at the beginning of the year. So my thought was, oh damn, okay, so they're just kind of like doing a ripoff of Starship Troopers, but it's not a ripoff. It's just it's a parody in the same vein. But damn, like the gameplay loop on it is great. The guns you get are fun to use. The stratagems, which are power ups so you can call in. Oh my god, it's just everything about the game is great. It's essentially Deep Rock Galactic dialed up to 11,
Yeah,
but no
right.
mining, all just straight killing of enemies.
Yeah,
That's all it
and
is.
a lot of tomfoolery ensues, right? Because this game will leave a very very strong first impression, right? Like from the very beginning when you have the intro, right? It's like it starts off like a fake PSA, and on the screen it says like PSA introduced by the Ministry of Truth by Super Earth. Warning: deviations from attention will be considered an act of treason. So you already know like what this game is going for, right? This is a rip on some like hyper capitalist, fascist, neoliberal government nightmare that's like taken over the entire Earth, and it's just decided to wage the military industrial complex onto like the entire galaxy. Right.
Exactly.
And so like you got like your ship, you can name your ship, and then you can form up a squad, and then from there you drop down on a planet, and you can like pick like what missions you want to do and what factions you want to fight. Right now they only have two, which is the Terminids, which is pretty much the bugs, and then the automatons, which are pretty much Terminator robots. And what's cool about this game is that it's a game that lets the community like form its own story, because as you play the game there's like ongoing missions that are going, and the progression of that mission is actually fueled not by like the individual players but by the entire server. So like
Yes.
literally it feels like you and everyone playing the game is participating in the campaign, because there's a campaign progression bar, and the more squads, like the more people within the server succeed at missions, the further that bar goes until it gets liberated. And then you get like defense campaigns where then the game will program it so that like, this planet's under attack from the automatons, right? So now everyone in the server now has to go to that planet, and now they have to try and do all these defense missions and stuff. But even though defense missions fucking suck ass right now, and we
Oh
actually
God.
lost a planet, by the way. So like people
We
on Twitter have been warning, be like, oh
yeah.
no, guys, we lost. I forgot what the planet's called. Like,
Malevolon. I'm mispronouncing it, but Malevolon Creek.
okay, something along those lines. But Robo Vietnam. That's what they call it, right?
That's essentially what it is. Robo Vietnam. We lost Robo Vietnam, and it's really cool because every time you succeed in an operation, the bar your work towards liberating the planet or defending the planet goes up. And like Jesse says, it's a community investment. So right now there's like a major order, which is like it's like I guess you can call it a main quest that will net you like 125 requisition, which is like the currency that they use in game. And every time you successfully defend a planet, you gain progress toward the quest, because that's the quest right now, is to win at least 8 defend 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 campaigns against the automatons. But you have to work with the community to actually successfully defend the planet and get, like he said, that bar 100%, and then it counts towards your quest. So a lot of people on social media are yelling like, "Hey, get your asses to Igmar or get your asses to Malevolent Creek," even though we lost it, and and it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And also the battle pass system that is associated with it. Um, well, Jesse could tell you about that. It's a success story,
Oh,
and really the way that
it's great, right? Like this it leaves a standard for every other live service game to follow. Whether or not they do that, well, it remains to be seen. They probably won't. But it's very very customer friendly. First off, it'll never expire ever at all, and as you play through the battle pass, you actually get premium currency, which you can use to purchase the premium battle pass. You can also use it to buy cosmetics, and the cosmetics are very cheap, right? It's not like Overwatch where they're bullshit ass, 1900 coins, for one skin, for like one legendary skin, and you get like 540, I think, for the week. That's it, and that's how you do everything, right? So maybe you can get like one skin like every 3 seasons. But in this game, like you play enough, you can get everything you want within a
you can.
pretty reasonable amount of time. And you still got to put a decent amount of hours. Like James and I are maybe halfway through the battle pass. Maybe
Yes.
maybe about a third actually. Like because there's still like pages that I have to fill out. But
Yeah.
so I would say like maybe like a third, and we both put in like 20 something hours into it. So it is a little bit of a grind, but the game is so fun, and there's so much silliness that can happen, especially because the game has friendly fire, right? And everything like explodes because of the stratagems, which are pretty much like airstrikes and like orbital airstrikes that you can call that like just destroy everything in its wake. And if your buddy is there, well, say goodbye to your buddy because he's getting blown to
Yes.
fucking bits.
No, literal bits like jib. That's oh god, that's literally what happens.
In
You're
the
gonna get
very
jibbed.
in the very first mission, our friend Manny is told charging up a yard gun, and I run in front of him, and he tries to shoot at the ground to avoid hitting me, and it just bounces off, and I just get fucking vaporized immediately. And I'm just yelling at him like, "What the fuck? Why'd you shoot me?" He's like, "No, dude, I'll shoot the ground. It just bounced off. I'm sorry." Or you'll have those moments where you call an airstrike, and you're like, "All right, clear the way, clear the way." And your buddy's like, "What?" And then the airstrike comes in and just blows his ass up.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of friendly fire, and I didn't know this either, but apparently, like, you know how some enemies have armor that reflect normal ammunition.
Uh huh.
Well, sometimes the bullets do reflect off the armor, and if your teammates are unlucky enough, it can actually reflect onto your teammates, and that could be considered. I encountered that actually before we started recording. I was playing around, and yeah, they were shooting at the armored dude, and it was literally like, ding, 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 and ding 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 ding, and shot right in my fucking chest. So, needless to say, I perished. But but God, it's so good.
You sacrifice
So,
yourself for democracy.
You know what? Yes, because after all, every day is a good day to die for democracy. Yeah. Honestly, we can't recommend this game enough. Go out and get it. It's really it's good, and it's only going to get better because they actually fixed all of the issues because the game was so popular that they actually had to increase the server cap twice, and then also they had to fix some bugs and stuff, and they also added a what's it called? Because apparently people were staying in game so that they wouldn't lose their spot. So they actually introduced an AFK timer to actually kick people out of after 15 minutes. So that coupled with the server cap increases, the game is you can play the game now.
Yeah, but you're definitely gonna want to squat up because this game does not scale at all, and once you
No.
get past certain difficulty, it is absolutely brutal. Yeah,
It is, yeah. I mean, like Deep Rock, this game is meant to be played with people. So please get friends. Get your friends to play it.
you get your friends. It's only $40 too, so it's not
Yeah.
it's not too expensive, right? If you pay $10 more, you can get a copy for your buddy, and then that way you and your buddy now have no excuse. You guys can play it together. At the very least, you
Absolutely.
two can play it together, and you can play up to like difficulty 5 out of 9. Okay. Beyond that, you're probably gonna want some more people, but at least
Yeah.
you can enjoy level 5 and like, difficulty 5.
Yeah, it takes a lot of coordination, like because it's just mostly just me and Jesse, and dude, we have to coordinate so much, and even then, oh my god, it's a fucking nightmare sometimes.
Yeah, but it's really cool. There's cooperative actions you can do with like the rocket launcher. Well, they call it the recoilless rifle, but it's pretty much a rocket launcher.
It's a rocket launcher.
It's a rocket launcher, right? So like you have the rocket launcher, and then you have the backpack with the rockets on it, and then you can have one person carry the backpack, and the other person has a rocket launcher. And then when you get to next to each other, the person with the backpack can press X or whatever the interaction button is for in your case, and they'll actually load it in for you, and it's way faster that way because you're trying to do it by yourself. It's a very long process, and you're very vulnerable. So you have like these really intense moments where you're like running away, and you're like, I need reload, right? And then right, go and then you and your buddy hook up, and then you start shooting. And it's really rewarding, right? When you're being chased by this big ass charger, which are like the big bugs with tons of armor on, and like you finally reach your buddy, and then you both just blow him away just as he's about to hit you. It's tons of cool moments like that. It's like you're living in a movie.
Yeah, you're essentially living in Starship Troopers, except pretty dope. Actually, honestly, it's like a mishmash of a bunch of sci-fi, but definitely, I would say Starship Troopers and Warhammer 40K, and
Oh yeah, because the automatons, yeah, they look a little bit. They're like
Oh no,
some of them, yeah, some of them look like shit, yeah, out of Warhammer, and then some of them look like Terminators. Like the basic ones are like
yeah,
Terminators.
yeah. No, but also the whole the whole super Earth supremacy thing that kind of
Oh yeah,
reminds
yeah,
me. Yeah. So I would say definitely Starship Trooper and Warhammer 40K vibes.
yeah. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, but super good. Highly recommend it. Definitely the best co-op experience you're gonna get right now. Um, and and also the devs give a shit. So
Yeah, they've gone on record saying like, you know, we don't like FOMO, so that's why we did the battle pass system the way we did it. We don't like, nickel and diming you to death, which is why we set the prices to the way they are. Which, by the way, this prices specifically like skins are like $3 tops.
oh
Yeah,
damn,
they're like $3 tops, like maybe,
nice.
as opposed to every other game they'll charge you like $40 for like a fucking skin, right? For like $40, $50, like an entire game price for a fucking skin
Yeah, dude,
in a
that's
game.
fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very stupid. Yeah, they've also said like, hey, like they've even told you like, hey, maybe don't buy our game just yet because we haven't fixed all the problems. Like,
Yes.
like imagine like a dev telling you that like, hey, don't buy our game.
Yeah, it's like
'Cause our
please.
game is so good. Like, don't buy it. Yes, please. Like, give us time to fix it because like they are literally suffering from success. They did not realize how big this
Yeah.
game was gonna get.
And actually, so when they fixed their server cap the first time, they were like, "Hey guys, we fixed the server cap issue. I'm real sorry. As a gesture of goodwill, we're gonna give you like a free double XP weekend." And the server capped out again. So so they're like, "What the fuck? No, wait." So that's what led to the second server cap increase, which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah.
Yeah, I have
That's
actually not been playing Persona 3 because of this game. I was hoping to beat Persona 3 Reload before Final Fantasy 7 comes out, which is tomorrow.
oh, so
But I'm fucked. So forget it. Sorry, Persona. You're not. Maybe I'll see
sorry.
you again like in April.
I'm sorry, Jesse. I didn't mean to do this to you.
No, that's okay, dude. I was slacking on anyways. Like there was days off I was taking, and I was playing other games like Overwatch and stuff. Man, you gotta take a break sometimes. I put like 70 hours in that game in like 2 or 3 weeks
Damn, dude.
or 3 weeks.
It's
Yeah, I
impressive.
put it like 3 weeks. So yeah, sometimes you gotta take a break,
Yeah, for
play some
sure.
other shit, catch up on your weeklies like in Overwatch.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm
Yeah,
like, sorry. I really will only play that game if you ask me to. But other than that, it's a no go for me.
I understand. I understand, but when you know what those season 9 changes, I don't know how you felt about them, but personally, I'm kind of okay with them. I like the health increases, and I know some people say the projectile size increase is kind of scrubby, but I also kind of like it too because I mean
You get to hit more shots.
you get to hit more shots. It always feels good when you hit more shots. Playing tank still always sucks though, so I'm still playing tank. But playing
I
damage
don't-
is fun now. I like playing damage.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Playing when you told me that Ana is no longer viable, I was just like, you see, that hurts. That hurts me a lot because, I'm an Ana main. Like that's been Bay for since I started my support.
Yep, I
Well,
know.
ever since Brigitte got nerfed, I had to find a new character, and I found it in Ana. And the way you play her is it's so rewarding, and I just you know it hurt when you told me that I couldn't play her anymore.
Well, Brick's still good. You have to
It,
play her differently. Well, I mean, you've always had to play her differently. You're not supposed to get
yeah,
in people's faces. Like it's not launch Brick where you can run up to people and just melee them to death. You can't do that
yes,
anymore.
yeah, I know, but still, I'm still iffy on the changes. It feels hard to play support right now, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, outside of that, so I told you before the show started that I want to show you this really cool game that I saw. I wanted to show you something. It was
It's a game.
It's a
Okay.
game. Yeah. Oh, it's a game. All right. It's fucking insane.
Okay.
Right. It's such a bait
Okay.
and switch. You're gonna see right now. Don't worry.
Okay,
I'm not gonna tell you what the game is called. I'm not gonna say
No,
anything
it's
about
okay.
it. It's just fucking bonkers, dude. And people have been went crazy over it here. So,
All right.
but
All right then. Are we gonna transition?
yeah. Here we
All
go,
right.
man.
Whoa!
Oh, whoa! Look at this.
Look at that.
This
That man.
fancy OBS technology. Look, you're there on the left side. I'm there on the right side.
I
right.
like it. Like it very much.
All right. Let's
Right.
watch this.
Okay.
We don't know where he came from.
Can you hear it just fine?
Tell you.
Sorry, hold on.
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
Into a city. He's the one who trained our
Okay,
army
reminds me of a Total
and
War
grew us into an empire.
a little bit.
I don't know where he's from.
That's a lot of people. Damn.
But if you think you can stop him, you're already dead.
Wait, what? Wait, what the fuck? No fucking way. Yo.
4-player co-op, by the way.
What? No fucking way. You're lying. I don't believe you. That
4-player
game?
co-op.
Oh, dude. What the dude, is this gonna be like the year of the co-op? Hang on, let me see. It's called Kingmakers?
Yeah, it's called Kingmakers,
Kingmakers.
and it's entering early access this year. Which
Oh
honestly,
my-
I'm so down for just getting it. I normally am against early access games, but I'm so down for just getting this immediately, just because the
Dude.
idea is so bonkers. Okay, so for those of you who are listening, we just saw a trailer for a game called Kingmakers, and the trailer starts off as it looks kind of like a medieval war simulator, right? You see it like this guy is doing this fancy narration with his medieval prose, and you see these knights like all beating the crap out of each other, these huge like epic medieval battles. And then a guy just rolls in with a fucking pickup truck in the middle of the battlefield and just rolls over people and then jumps out with an AK and starts mowing everyone down. So, in other words, this game these guys was the studio. I don't remember what the studio is called. Redemption Road. I'm guessing that's what they're called. Or Tiny Build. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, these
Yeah,
guys
so-
just made a game that appealed to your inner 14-year-old because I know for a fact everyone at least once in their life when they were 14 thought like, hey, if I had an AK-47, I went to back in medieval times, would I be able to like 1v100 an entire army, or like who would win? Like 10 special forces guys with like rocket launchers and AK-47s, or like 10,000 knights, like. And this
Yo,
game just
that's-
went, you want that? Here you go.
Yo, that's freaking insane. I can't. Wow. Honestly, I'm glad I saw that. Now we have a new game to look forward to. We definitely have to play this when it comes out on early access. I'll buy this game.
No, 100%. I'm gonna. I saw it on my feed. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Well, first I saw that it was the thumbnail art was a dude with an AK-47 on a horse surrounded by knights. I'm like, okay, whatever this is gonna be interesting. Okay, if it's bullshit or not is another thing, but it'll at least be interesting. So I just clicked on the trailer, and just like you, my jaw was on the floor. And then I had that stinger in the end where it just shows him the AK-47 guy in the future with like a giant robot. Like, what? There's more craziness.
Yo, that's insane. Well, clearly time travel is gonna be an actual gameplay mechanic. It's not just gonna be like a story, like a plot device. Very interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, looks absolutely awesome.
I'm very curious. Damn, dude. Wow. It just says 2024, but they don't have like a month set.
No. So it could be
Okay.
whenever.
No problem.
It'll be
All right, then no
sometime
problem. I mean,
2024.
I mean, hey, I'm not complaining. We got our own shit that we're playing. So
Yeah, we got plenty of shit to go over. Don't need to worry about that.
no need to worry.
All right, so you ready to talk some news?
Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's get in it.
All right, so for today's itinerary, we have. Well, first we're gonna start off with a discussion over the troubles going on in Sony, and about how Sony has recently declared that the PS5 is now in its latter half of the cycle. even though it feels like it's hardly even begun. Then we're going to discuss some EA layoffs and some canceled games that were very unfortunate. Then after that, we'll be discussing Suicide Squad and how it flops really damn hard.
Flopped is being very nice about it.
And then we may or may not talk about Nintendo Direct. Wasn't really like all that huge, to be honest. And we noticed that every time we talk about like a Direct or a State of Play or like an Xbox State of Play or whatever, we spend like 45 minutes on everything. So I'd rather not this episode be freaking like 3 hours long.
Yeah, and honestly,
I'm sorry. Let me.
Oh, no.
Let me finish first. But for absolutely sure, we're going to be discussing the new Borderlands trailer, the latest video game adaptation. That's being distributed by Lionsgate, I believe. So it's going to be interesting to see. I have not seen the trailer, neither have James. So you're actually going to see our first initial reactions to it, and then that will be it. But what were we going to say?
No. I was just gonna say the as far as the Nintendo Direct, I only saw one game, and it's a remake or a remaster, whatever. So,
Okay.
other than that, yeah, that was.
Oh
the only
yeah, I
one
know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I mean, we can probably just talk about like one or two things real quick about it.
Nah,
When we get to it, we get to it.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Exactly.
But anyway,
All right. So first off, we have. So it's actually a series of stories that we've collected over the past 2 weeks. So it seems like Sony has been, having some troubles this generation. Because we have here an article from IGN where, in an earnings call, Sony reported that the PS5 was actually entering the latter stage of its life cycle, and they also had to lower their projections because initially they were going to sell 25 million PS5s by the end of the year, and they recently had to lower it down to 21 million. And so, with this news, a lot of people are like, "Wait, the latter half? Like, we've barely begun, right? Like, it really feels like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X has been kind of like stalling for like a very long time." But
yes.
Before we get into that discussion on whether or not this generation has been a dud, at least so far, there's also been a more recent development where Sony has now declared that there's going to be layoffs. That they're going to be laying off about 8%, I believe, or 900 people from their studios, and they will also be closing the PlayStation London studios. And then there's also another story that shows that Sony has actually lost $10 billion in their market value because of the forecast cuts. And apparently investors have been very unhappy with the way Sony has been going lately because they've been operating at a 6% profit margin, whereas before they were operating at a much higher profit margin. And then you combine all that with the fact that Bungie hasn't been doing too well, even though Sony spent a lot of money on obtaining them, and Destiny hasn't been doing too well because they screwed up the last expansion pack. Lightfall so freaking hard.
Yeah, I know. We discussed that in a previous episode that Sony has been looking at Bungie with a glare, to say the least.
Yeah, and then Bungie has been like, "Oh, we're gonna cut like a ton of shit, right?" And they just started laying people off left and right. All right, those sewing classes, no more, right? No more cooking classes. All that fun shit you liked, that's all gone, right? Also, you in HR, gone, out. Right. So, yeah, let's discuss, man. Kind of begs the question, right? Like, has this console generation been a dud? What do you think?
Well, let's see. What games have we gotten for you know what? Let's do Xbox and PlayStation. What games have we gotten that were brand new IPs and not remakes of old properties? I would say
or sequels.
Or sequels.
Or cross gens.
Or fuck. I'm thinking.
Right?
Because I know
it's hard.
because I know Naughty Dog, I think the last 3 games were all Last of Us remasters and remakes. Because I know they did The Last of Us Part 1 remade or remastered into the Last of Us Part 2 engine. What else?
Well, there was that Ratchet and Clank game.
Oh yeah, Rifts Apart. Yeah, I think that wasn't that a launch title for the
Yes, it
PlayStation.
was. It was actually a launch
Okay.
title, and it did moderately well.
Yeah, but not well enough. But then again, we do have to be fair. Sony themselves set some pretty high expectations. Like, for example, like you would remember Final Fantasy 16?
Yeah.
Like the game sold well, but they still considered it a failure because it didn't
Well, that's
reach.
Square. That's not Sony that said that.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I take that back. I take back what I said.
Yeah,
All right,
that
and
was
so, well, can you want to incorporate Final Fantasy 16 in that, even though it's considered a sequel?
Well, I mean, each one is so different that I think that's fine. Like, because
Okay.
also it plays so differently from all the other Final Fantasy games, and
Right.
at least like from a spectacle point of view, it does make use of the PS5. I'd say that's a game that's worthy of being a PS5 next gen game. But then you
Okay.
have games like Ragnarok, which is a cross gen game. You have all those remasters of Last of Us, and then the remakes.
Yes. And then what else?
Returnal is the other PS5 game.
Returnal?
Yeah, Returnal.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot.
Yeah,
about that
right. A lot of people forgot.
which speaks. I mean, I'm sorry if you guys like the game, but it's not really talked about enough, which kind of begs the question if it was good or not. I'm gonna say not really, because if it was, people would be touting it. Oh yeah, Forspoken. Wasn't that a PlayStation exclusive, or was that also a Square fuck up?
That's a square fuck up.
Oh, okay, but still, like Square is one of I would say one of Sony's bread and butter studios. No, or is Square not under the Sony banner?
No, they're not. They're independent. They just had a good relationship with each
Relationship?
other. For a long
Okay.
time. Ever since the
Okay.
PS1 days, because of Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
Final Fantasy was the original Nintendo series, and then Square didn't want to make games for cartridges, so then they moved over to Sony because they wanted to make use of the CDs.
Yeah. All right then. So
And so
I'm having trouble. I mean, I know this is just PlayStation games, but I guess we can move on to Xbox. Let's look at some
Xbox ain't
Xbox.
got none.
No. Well, that's the funny
Halo
part.
Infinite.
They
That's it.
You're gonna use that as like their peak? Is that their peak
Pretty
game?
much, right? Because
that's pretty fucking awful.
Like, what else have they really produced this gen, right?
Well, I will say they are the ones with the exclusives. Well, no longer. Like Starfield, and that was
Oh, yeah,
aggressively
Starfield.
mid. Aggressively mid.
See, I already forgot about
And-
it.
Yeah, no, trust me, I forgot about it. I tell you, the minute after I married Sarah, I closed the game and I never
All
opened
right.
it.
I have peaked. This game has peaked for me.
This game is peaked.
I have
no
married
more.
Amelia Clark.
Yes, bro. I'm
space.
telling you, Amelia Clark in space, dude. Even
Good.
I think we talked about it too, but even the modders are like, yeah, this game is way too boring. Like, we don't even want to put in the effort to mod this game.
Redfall?
Yes, bro. Oh my god,
Oh,
Redfall, ass. Never played it. Just saw footage of it. Laughed my ass off, and I was like, yep, never touching this game. So then, Hi-Fi Rush, sleeper hit. That's also not going to be an exclusive anymore. It's going to go to. It's actually we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, it's going over to the Switch now, right? Because that's kind of been Xbox's strategy so far. So it's kind of like, well, why would I need an Xbox console at this point? Like, outside of just convenience, why not just
Exactly.
take the extra effort, and a little bit extra money, and I get a PC like you and I, and then it's a little bit of effort, but it's worth it because you can do so much more, right? You can do modding. You could alter your graphics to like improve your performance.
You don't
I
have to
mean,
pay-
I don't know about lately though, because these PC ports as of late have been kind of
have
been
been
kind
really-
of sus, but you get the
Yeah.
idea, right? And
Yeah.
on top of
Well-
that, you can emulate. You can do like emulations on your computer. We do not
educational
condone piracy at all, of course. Yes, for game
No,
preservation
we're-
purposes.
No,
We don't condone
preservation
piracy
and
of any kind.
educational. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, dude, I'm having trouble naming any big games, and honestly, probably any big games that came out for these consoles was probably last year. And when gaming just decided to shoot, blow its load with RE4 remake, Baldur's Gate, damn it, which other ones?
Oh, which other what? I'm sorry, I was looking at a list of games that actually came out in 2017.
Oh, in 2017.
Yeah, because
What?
we are 4 years in almost into the year. So I'm looking at 2017, 2016 year for the PS4, right? And then the
Okay.
Xbox. I mean, unfortunately, the Xbox still didn't really have much going on last gen. But like 2017 was a fucking banger year, dude. This was the year where we got Persona 5.
Yes.
We got Neo. Right? Trying to look for like more exclusives. Trying to find more. I know that was the year we got Zelda, right? Breath of the Wild. We also had
Oh.
Super Mario Odyssey.
You know, well, hang on. When we talk about when we ask the question, sorry, I just wanted to say when we ask the question about has this console generation been a dud, do we really want to include the Switch?
No, we don't. No. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I have for at least for 2017 purpose. Yeah, because Nintendo's always kind of done their own thing,
And they've also done it very, very well. Like every game they put out is a hit with its respective communities. Like you said, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, the Mario Odyssey.
yeah. I think mainly for like the more
Pikmin-
hardcore consoles, I guess is when we want to include the scope, right? Because
Keep talking.
yeah, because Nintendo's always kind of done their own thing, especially as of late. Like they've been kind of approaching the consoles like they would like a toy, right? Because they're at their heart they're a toy company, so they've had like all these interesting gimmicks, right? For the Wii it was the motion controls, right? For the Wii U it was the second screen. I mean it didn't work out, but like that eventually evolved into the Switch, right?
Yeah.
Like the Switch is what the Wii U wanted to be. It didn't work out
Yes.
for the Wii U because of poor marketing and because the logistics of no one wants to look at a screen, right? No one wants to look at up and down, up and down, up and down, right? They want to look at just one screen. That's it.
Exactly. Unless the screens are together like the Nintendo DS, which I would consider a success.
Oh yeah, no, that was a mega success for them. The DS and the 3DS, those sold like fucking crazy, right? But in the case of the Switch, right, it carries the spirit of the portability that the Wii U had, which is really the big selling point of the Wii U. Like I played it in handheld a lot because it was super cool to play it in handheld. I don't play the Switch as much, but the appeal of the Switch is that you can take it anywhere with you, and the
Yeah.
Switch is huge. It's like the third best selling console of all time now at this point. I think there's actually a report recently that I forgot how many it sold, but like yeah, it's like number 3 like of overall, behind like
Yeah,
the PlayStation
close.
2 and something else I can't remember right now. Something along those lines.
Yeah. But again, that's why I don't want to include the Switch when we talk about the current console gen because it has been successful on its own.
Yeah, it's on its own
So
success. So
really-
yeah, the more hardcore ones, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
So bringing that in and focusing a bit more, I mean, there is Spider-Man. The Spider-Man game was great.
That is true.
But it was
Okay.
safe, right? It was a sequel, right? It's not a new IP. It doesn't play.
Yeah.
It plays very similarly to the first game. Like it's pretty much practically a carbon copy of the first game. Like the combat system's more or less the same. I mean, of course, they changed a few things around, added some new
Yeah.
things like the wingsuit. Yeah, they added Miles. You could play as Miles and stuff. But the game's it's very, 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 very similar, right? Same thing with God of War Ragnarok, right?
Yeah.
It's a very similar game. Very, very, very similar game. Yeah, I'm still looking through Wikipedia.
Yeah, I'm trying to write down the names of these games, and it's like, well,
And then we had, yeah, I'm looking at 2016, 2017 for like what games are there, like just exclusives, right? So that's Persona 5 and also Neo, right? Those are two really, really good games, like amazing games. Well,
And that was
Persona's
for the-
amazing. Neo's really good, right?
Oh, yeah, and
I
that
know,
was
I know
for the-
there's more, but I can't really like find them right now because I'm looking at the wiki page.
yeah. But that was for the PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah, it was for PlayStation 4 because PlayStation 4 had all the exclusives, right? And then I mean, even before then, like you can talk about like Bloodborne, right? Bloodborne was
Yes.
is it's a great game that came out in 2015, but it's a PlayStation exclusive. And it's a great game, right? Street Fighter V, exclusive game, PlayStation,
Yeah.
right? I know it's a bit of a controversial game because I know a lot of people. There's a lot of people who don't like it. I mean, it kind of came around towards the end, but at least initially, a lot of people did not like it.
Yeah.
Because the game was kind of busted and it didn't really have much content.
Yeah. I think they were complaining about the net code because it was like
Yeah, the
really
netcode was garbage because they literally broke it. But they fixed it for Street Fighter 6, which is like the best netcode now. Apparently, like out of all fighting games, everyone says Street Fighter 6 is the best netcode.
180.
Yeah, complete 180, right? In fact, actually, Capcom recently apologized for Street Fighter 5, the launch period of it. They actually because it was the anniversary of Street Fighter 5 a few weeks ago, and they're like, "Yeah, we're sorry for releasing it so busted. We learned a lot on how to make a game right through Street Fighter 5. It was a learning experience for us."
Better, dude.
But hey, you know what? They
My
showed
God.
up because how many times do they say, "Oh, we learned a lot from this," right? And then they still fuck up. Like, 'cause Street Fighter 6 knocked it out the park.
Yeah.
And then, so, you don't have a lot of exclusives, right? And then on top of that, we're hearing stories about, how more and more these games are becoming more and more multi-platform, right? Like Helldivers is on PC. You and I played on PC,
Yes.
not on
So
PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Not exclusively on PlayStation 5. You can't play with PlayStation 5 people, but you can also buy the game and play it on PC.
Yes. So even I guess you can consider that what half exclusive. I don't even know what you'd call it, but
It's a console exclusive, but not a platform exclusive.
yeah. So I mean, in general, I mean I know we're kind of just like rambling on here, but the point is like yeah, this console gen has been kind of like meh, you know. Like we're trying our best to get these games that really aren't. They're few and far in between. Like all the good games are all remakes. Like for example, Final Fantasy VII remake.
Well,
And of
that's a
course
different
the-
game. No, it's a
Well,
remake.
well-
It's a remake, but it's a different game. It's a
Yeah,
completely
but-
different game.
But what I'm saying is it's based on an old IP, which is what I'm trying to say. Same thing with God of War. It's an old IP that they kind of remade into a different game. Yes, it's true, but
Yeah.
again, like it hasn't. It clearly hasn't done enough to sell these consoles. But then again, I don't know if it's because it's the games themselves or maybe it's the consoles themselves that are too expensive, the limited availability that they had when they first came out with the console. I mean, in terms of the PS5 specifically, because I don't think Xbox limited console availability, right? Or
I don't know. I actually don't
Yeah.
know. I mean,
I don't know.
to be fair, I don't think many people were buying it anyways. But
I was gonna say
it wasn't as in high demand as a PS5, right?
Exactly, dude. I remember. Like, you know what? Yeah, because the Xbox came out first, and then Sony was like really taking their time revealing the PS5 how it looked, and then the day after they revealed the controller, and they're like, oh, like these new DualShock 5 game controls, haptic feedback, and a whole bunch of cool shit. So yeah, that is true. But I mean, I really think this console generation was kind of whatever, my opinion. I mean, again, I played on PC mostly, so I don't have a PlayStation or an Xbox. Probably the only console I would ever consider getting would be a Switch, just because the Switch has games that I cannot get on the computer without Jack Sparrow's help. So,
Hey, don't let Nintendo
But
hear
yeah.
you that because they're suing the Switch emulator guys.
hey, no, listen, man. I'm just saying I have not done it. I have not emulated any games. I'm just saying I
Never.
cannot. Yes, exactly. What I'm saying is I cannot get games from Nintendo onto the PC without breaking the law, which I do not condone. Which is why I will be buying a Switch sometime later this year.
Okay.
But no, but so I don't know, man. Since you actually have a PS5, you had a PS4, you actually still play more or less on the console before your dad took it from you.
Yeah,
So
before he
I
took it and it turned into
so-
a YouTube box.
yeah, so I mean, it could be you may have a better perspective on it, but honestly, dude, like I really don't see the appeal of consoles anymore. I mean, I haven't for a while now, and I think it's gotten less and less like um, I don't even wonder. I mean, I don't know what the right word is. I want to say wonderful, like the allure of owning a console. Like, oh my god, like having a PS5, or oh my god, having an Xbox. Like, it's not appealing to me. Like any games that they have, I could just get on the computer and yeah. So yeah, I would say that yeah. This to answer the question finally after all of this, yes, I would say this console gen was a dud. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I'm actually looking through exclusives. So like, Ghost of Tsushima was newly introduced,
Oh, I
right?
forgot about that. Okay,
It's console exclusive, right?
and
Det-
that was good. That was a good game,
yeah,
from what I heard.
Detroit Become Human was also an exclusive. The Last
Mm.
Guardian, a new game, also exclusive. Horizon, right? PS4 introduced Horizon to us. PS4
Yeah.
also God of War. Like, yes, okay, it's a sequel to a game, but it changed the game so drastically that it was practically a new game. Like, it's practically like it's its own unique creation. And then yeah, I mean, well, you have like Last of Us, but like Last of Us Part Two, like plays more or less the same as like Last of Us Part
Yeah.
One. But you see like you see like these exclusives, right? Like
Yeah,
there are
yeah.
reasons for you to buy the console, to own it. Be like,
But
hey, I bought this so I can play these games that I can only enjoy on this specific console. And well, now that you can't really say that now. I mean, because like, I mean, you could for some games, but then it's like, okay, I can play Demon Souls, but it's a remake. So I can also play it on PS4, right? And it's a one-to-one remake. Like it's not a drastically changed remake.
yeah,
I can play The Last of Us remake. It's the same game.
I still
It's more or less the
yeah,
same game.
I still have my PS4 and I still have The Last of Us remastered, the first remaster on my PlayStation, and yeah, I could just still play that. Yeah.
Knack! Who could forget the wonderful Knack on the PlayStation, the classic Sony exclusive for the PS4, Knack. And Knack 2, the much anticipated sequel.
Oh my god, dude.
Then you also have the Order 1886, which that game sucked, by the way. That game was fucking awful, but that game was a fucking movie. That's what it was. It was a shitty movie.
It was a shitty movie
It was a shitty
masquerading
movie.
as
It was a shitty movie with a trailer that fucking lied to you.
the trailer lied to
The
you.
trailer fucking lied. Bro, they show you all these werewolves and vampires and shit you're gonna be shooting, and you spend half the time shooting fucking soccer hooligans in London. Like, it's
Oh my god, soccer hooligans.
so dumb. Oh, you got license for that? You know, right? That shit, man.
Hey, you got license for that.
Like, where's the werewolves? They only show up 4 times. 4 times they show up, and it's a shitty QTE.
Oh, it's not even like a legit boss fight.
No, it's
Oh,
like you don't actually fight it. It's a QTE fight.
lame.
And then in the game they tease vampires because one of the villains is one of the twist villains is a fucking vampire, and it shows that he's like hiding vampires in London to like invade, and you don't fight them. Just- and then top it off, the game is 4 hours. Right?
Really?
Like, do the Angry Joe 4 hours, right?
Wait, don't tell me it was a $60 game.
Oh, it was.
Oh,
You
fuck's
can
sake,
bet your
man.
bottom dollar it was $60.
That's some bullshit right there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about
I didn't
that.
I didn't pay for it. I played it. Winston had a copy of it. I played it. So don't worry.
Good.
I did not pay for it at all. Thank God. I would have been so mad. I would have been very, very mad. But yeah, I mean, yeah, for me, like, so like obviously, like I made the transition much later than you. You've been playing on PC. How long have you been playing on PC for?
So you're gonna have to help me out with this. I don't know what the timeline is, but I know that when I bought my graphics card, my first graphics for it was a GTX 9 something. It was really good. Honestly, my first PC, like I was so happy when I built it. And when I got the graphics card, dude, this is how old it was. Nvidia was giving you 2 games for free when you bought one of their cards. So I had gotten Batman Arkham Knight and Witcher 3 while
2015-ish.
Yeah, I would say 2015. Yeah, 2015-ish. Yeah, I think that's when I built it. So I've been PC gaming since 2015. Actually, and even a little bit before then because I had a gaming laptop.
Okay.
So that was my first foray into PC gaming, but I really only played like Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3. Um and of course, I had the orange box. Oh, so actually, so technically speaking, I started when the orange box came out. That was when I started a PC game.
Oh wow, so
But
that's like 2010, dude.
yeah, no, even earlier than that.
No,
Orange
no, no,
box came
I
out.
don't think it was that early.
Orange box came out when we were in middle school,
Oh,
dude.
2008 then? 2008. 2007. Oh wow, I was way off.
2007.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
But I wasn't seriously gaming. Like I was still console. I still had the Xbox 360. I was still playing Call of Duty 4 with you and the boys. But but I had that, and of course I was playing World of Warcraft and stuff. So and so yeah. So since 2007, but I wasn't taking it seriously until I built my own computer. So that's when I would say 2015 is really when I started to make that my main console. Because I had my own. Because I think I was working, I had my own money, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna build a damn computer, and no one's gonna stop me. And sure enough, no one stopped me ever since then. So yeah, so I've been PC gaming for a while.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, so for me, I made the transition in 2020 when you gave me your old computer, which by the way
Yeah,
is like the best gift you've ever fucking given me. Thank you so much. By the way.
man, see how much fun we're playing. I I love that
Yeah, I
shit.
mean, part of the motivation was that we couldn't play shit together anymore because like you made the
Yeah,
conversion over, and I was still playing on console, so we just had to hope that crossplay was a thing, which it really wasn't back then. It's only been like a more recent development, like the past like I feel like past like 3 years, crossplay
yeah.
has become like common, but like before then, like before 2020, right? Before pre-pandemic era, that shit wasn't happening, right?
It was not happening at all.
Like we would play like Dauntless, I think was crossplay. Like we played Dauntless.
Yeah,
Like that was crossplay. Now that was it, pretty much.
yeah, that was
That's
pretty
all I
much
can.
it.
That's all I can think of that had crossplay on it. Unless like we play like RuneScape, maybe, because yeah, you could run RuneScape on a fucking toaster if you wanted
Yeah,
to. I can run it like on my fridge. So
yeah. But it is pretty demanding. Like I was playing it on my iPad. I remember I had it on my iPad, and dude, my iPad was heating up.
oh really?
So yeah,
That's funny.
but it's no problem, man. I was really happy to give you the PC because yeah, man. Like part of the motivation is to play games with you. You know, um, my favorite games to play are usually co-op games with my friends. So hell yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, going further into that, well, before then, like I had a PlayStation 1, I had a Genesis, I had a PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64, a PS2, greatest gaming console of all time.
Yes.
I got a Wii. Through the Wii, I played GameCube games, so I kind of had a GameCube. Then I had a
Okay.
Wii U. I had a 360, right? Second best console of all time. Uh, and then from there, now I have a Switch. I have a PS4 before my dad stole it, and now he's his fucking YouTube. Which, by the way, my uncle out there, Uncle Nelson, I hate you for showing him what YouTube is, because now he won't freaking get off it. So that's why I got a PS5 now. The PS5 is in my room, right? It is not going anywhere. It's staying in my room. It's underneath my feet right now. And yeah, I mean, like with the PS5, like, I have Spider-Man, and then I have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and that's it. Right? Like I have, like of course I still want to play Ragnarok, right? Of course I want to play Ragnarok. I want to play I want to get the Demon Souls remake, but like it's a remake, and I've already played Demon Souls. I played it when it first came out on the PlayStation 3. I'm a Souls OG player. I was doing that before.
You're honestly, yeah. If you guys ever want advice and critique, like honest critique from a Souls connoisseur, this is the guy.
Yeah,
So
right. Because all you youngins out there started with Dark Souls. Oh, Dark Souls so cool, bro. No, I was there in 2009, bro, in the trenches of Demon Souls, right? I was there going through Lativa prison, getting fucked by mind flayers that just fucking ate your brains out and deleted like 90% of your life bar. I was getting my level sucked away by the freaking false King Alant, right?
Wait, what do you mean you're getting your level sucked
Yeah,
away?
he can literally take your level away. He can de-level you.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Nah, no thanks.
He has a
dude.
special grab where he sucks your souls and he de-levels you.
That's
So I actually went down like 5 or 6 levels when fighting him before I beat him.
no, can't. Oh no, that's awful.
Luckily, he was the
dude.
last boss I fought because you could choose what order you fight him in. You don't have to fight him in order.
Yeah, but that's still awful. I would never. Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
so-
no, it sucked. I got grabbed so many times I lost like a good 6 or 7 levels, and then I had to go
Dude,
and grind them back up.
Meanwhile, I'm here like, yeah, maybe I'll try the Souls games.
Hey,
And
Elden
I'm
Ring's
like,
fun. You like Elden Ring?
Yeah, yeah. I haven't gone back to play.
He's gonna ass whooping.
Honestly, dude, I think the only Souls game that I actually played like all the way through was Lies of P, and actually enjoyed the game. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's less dickish than most Soul games. Most Soul games are kind of dickish.
yeah,
But
I don't know.
Elden Ring's fun. I think you should keep playing Elden Ring. I mean, it's super long, but you can keep playing
Well,
it. And then if you like
I
it,
just think I need.
Huh?
Yeah, I just think I need help because I was doing fine up until I got to the first boss. So I think I need to go out and find new equipment because I still have all the basic
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, but we digress, right? So
Yeah,
you
sorry.
wanna-
Go
yeah.
ahead.
'Cause we've been rambling, man. It's just-
We're not gonna do the Nintendo Direct, are we?
No, we are not. Yeah, I'm looking at the time right now. Fuck that. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
Anyway, so
I might just close the tab. I'm just gonna close the tab. There we go. Close tab. But yeah, no, going back to it, right? So now I'm on PC, and I'm loving it, right? I'm playing all these really cool games. I get my totally legal emulators, play my totally legal copies of emulated games, which I own. That you cannot prove otherwise. And I've been playing with you. I've been able to play games that I probably would have never been able to play before. Like there's tons of games like on Steam. Like I know for a fact I don't think they would be available on. I'm not gonna look them up right now, but like there's games like on Steam, right? Like the world of Steam
there's
is
a lot.
amazing.
yes, there's a lot. I've seen you play games, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, because you're also the connoisseur with the demos and those games. So
Yeah. So I mean, personally, like because of that, and also because there hasn't been many exclusives for consoles as of late, right? It does feel like this console generation has been kind of a dud,
yeah,
right?
and not only not only a dud, but I think people are starting to realize, what you and I have realized. Like, I can just put in some extra cash to get a computer, and yeah, it'll be more expensive than a console, but it will last longer. Because a computer you can upgrade over time, or just build a new one outright. I think the first computer that I had, it lasted me 5 years, which is unheard of for a technology standpoint. And now this one, I'm approaching the 5-year mark, and honestly, like it's still running strong. I might just upgrade one part instead of building a whole new PC. So people are starting to realize that now, and I think these console developers are starting to realize that too. I think that could just be a personal opinion of mine. Well, it is a personal opinion of mine, but I don't know if it's well founded. But that's what I think.
Yeah, I think partly why it feels like this is such a dud and why it feels like there's such a dearth of games is because games take a very long time to make, and they have become increasingly more and more expensive to make.
Yes.
So it financially makes less and less sense to have them be exclusive on a console because you're limiting your audience at that point. Like the Spider-Man game, because of the leaks, the Sony leaks that occurred.
Yeah.
We found out that Spider-Man cost $300 million to make. Shitload of money. And there's another
That
game,
is a shit
and
ton.
Last of Us I think cost 200 million.
That makes sense. Well, if you I mean you've seen the production value. Naughty Dog fucking they throw everything at that game.
Yeah,
The mocap, the graphics,
and these are
everything.
big games, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it kind of leads into another question: like, are games getting too big for their own good? Right? At least
Mhm.
from a business side, right? Like these games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Last of Us One was like a 15-hour long game, I think, and then
Mhm.
Last of Us Two is like 25 hours long. Like,
Oh damn.
what the fuck? Like, why do you need to make it almost twice as long? Like, these aren't like open-ended games. These are linear story-based games. Why do you need them to be so long with this crazy production value on top of it? Like, it's no wonder these games take like 6-7 years to make and $200 million, and you're lucky to get one game per generation.
Yeah. So no, I agree. It's getting a little bit. It's getting very expensive, and there's a lot of factors that go into it, especially like the surrounding economy from it, and because we're seeing. Um, well, I mean, I don't know if we. I mean, it probably leads into what we're going to talk about later, but all the layoffs that these companies are, that these game developers are enacting, but then they'll report highest record profits for the quarterlies, which kind of is confusing because you say it's expensive, so you cut staff, but then you end up reporting record profits and bragging about it. And so begs the question is like, okay, then is it actually really expensive to make games, or are you guys just becoming increasingly cheap? And or are you spending so much money and not getting a return on investment because you're making dumb investment decisions into the kind of game you want to make, which we'll talk about later with a certain uh, studio that went all in on a live service game and ended up failing to meet expectations, let's
Yeah,
say.
yeah, as they say.
So it really there's a lot of questions that are going on. However, there is a lot of layoffs, and I know we talked about it before that there may be like a little crash coming, especially in terms of gaming, and these companies are just kind of trying to stave it off. So that's why like it's really hard for me to get behind the video games are getting too expensive to make, which yeah, I agree, but at the same time these companies and the management, which we talked about before, they don't know how to spend their fucking money. They don't know. They just don't know what the hell they're doing, and it's all the wrong people making all the wrong decisions, and that's why there's money lost, and or we made money, we just didn't make the money we wanted, and that's why they have to cut jobs, like with Sony did with the PlayStation. You know, they're like, oh, we have to change our forecast because turns out we actually are not going to make the money that we thought. And just like that, $10 billion gone in market value, in market cap. Wait, market value. Sorry.
Yeah, market value.
So yeah, so I know that was a lot. That was a lot that I just said right now.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Well, do you think the solution would be to start focusing more on smaller, more frequent, and cheaper projects? Right. Like instead of having these games, they're like hundreds of millions of dollars to make and take 6 years to make. Maybe make like a $50 million game that's like take maybe 3 years, 4 years to make.
I think people should just make the game that they want to make. Cause like for example, how much did Baldur's Gate cost?
A lot. It was like 100 million.
Okay, 100 million. Not as much as Last of Us, but Baldur's Gate still has a lot of shit in it. So again, it really doesn't make it's not the argument. The argument shouldn't be about money. It should just be about make the game that you want to make. Like your passion is to make this game, so then make this game. Helldivers. How much do you think Helldivers made? Let's look that up real quick.
Well, I mean, the thing is that like the reason why I asked that is because these games get bigger and bigger in scope every time because developers want to one up themselves every single time. So like my question is like, should they maybe abandon that mentality of like one upping themselves every time because of maybe like if we end up one up ourselves every time, right? You're gonna end up skewing your audience's expectation. So that way, like you have to keep like you're in it at that point. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't feel like I'm being very
Yeah.
clear.
No. That makes sense, and that does make sense. And we noticed it with Naughty Dog. Like they were making good games. Like they made the Uncharted series, they made The Last of Us, and so the expectations were getting high, which is why Last of Us when it leaked, people were like, "What the fuck is this?" For for
Well, I mean
what,
expectations in terms of scope. I mean specifically scope, not
oh, scope.
quality, not
Okay.
quality, scope.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, scope.
Because like remember Assassin's Creed game, like the first Assassin's Creed game, right,
Oh yeah.
was like it was a short game. Like it was an open world game, but it was pretty short. It could be like in 20 hours, and maybe you could do like all the side quest stuff and be like in 40, right? And now we have Valhalla that's like 100 hours just for the fucking playthrough, and then like another like 100 hours just to do all the side shit.
Unless you spend on time savers, but that's
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah, this is one time
But
right?
I get no, but I was making a slight, but your point still stands, and I understand that. But again, I think yes, make smaller games that are more focused and condensed, because I think people, well, no, I still stick with my stance. I think people should just make the game that they want to make. Like, if there is a certain direction that you want to take your game in, like just make that game. Now and then, of course, if you can't do certain things with the game, then obviously you can't do certain things with the game because you don't have enough money. Then obviously you have to kind of reel it back a bit. And this happens. This used to happen all the time in games. Actually, it still happens where game developers are like, "Oh yeah, we want to try this, and that." But it just wasn't in the budget, or we just didn't have the technology, or whatever. So we had to just scrap the idea. But I think talented artists, talented developers like Larian Studios, they have a clear vision for the game that they want to make and for the kind of genre that they excel in, and they should just do that and make the game that they have a clear vision for. And I think you'll see that a lot of people will react to that because after all, gaming is an art. So you need to have vision and you need to have passion. Having just a corporate product, i.e., Call of Duty 24, Modern Warfare 6, remake number 5, is, it's soulless. And yeah, sure, it makes a lot of money from, it's it's in-game cash shop and shit, but people don't respond to it. Or like FIFA. But that's really they make their money because they're gambling
Okay.
simulators.
I'll stop you right there. Like, so again, put the scope here. I should probably be more specific. I mean, like with single player games,
Oh,
not like
okay. Then
multiplayer.
yeah.
Like I'm talking like the kind of stuff Sony's known for, right?
Oh, okay.
The single player focused game, because obviously Call of Duty's gonna keep making money. Like that's because that's the reason why we get so many of these live service games, is because they know that like they just need to get one, right. If they make 10 busts, doesn't matter. You get one game that you can keep selling, little microtransactions over and over again for years. I'm talking like
Yeah.
specifically for like
You're talking about single player.
Yeah, those single player
Okay.
games.
All right then. Okay, sorry. I didn't
No, I
I
should
didn't
have been more
realize.
specific. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's still a good conversation to be had. But yeah, as far as single player games, uh no, just get the right people to make the game that they want to make. Like if they have a clear vision for it, then yeah, give them the funds. But again, I really think that mismanagement of funds is the root of a lot of these problems. Like these people are throwing money at shit just to see if it sticks. And then after doing it 5 times and spending all this money, they're like, "Oh man, look at that! Taking a risk is on games is it's too risky now." It's like no, you just threw money at people that don't know what the hell they're doing. So what did you think was going to happen? But yeah, but I think yeah, just get people that are good at what they do and just let them make the game that they want. And then just take it from there, you know? And I know you're probably going to like this answer, but also invest in the indie studios as well.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, personally, I think like uh, maybe we should probably focus on smaller games. I think like if you're spending like $300 million like on games, like I think that you might be going a bit much, right? Because the market isn't getting bigger fast enough for you guys to cover like all these increasing costs, and it could be, you know, mismanagement of funds, right? But also I think like the scope of many games, single player games mainly, are kind of like their own worst enemy at this point. Like these single player uh, games are getting like way too big. Like back to the Last of Us point, right? First game was 15 hours. Second game was 25 hours. Like why? Like you're just kind of, and the game plays more or less the same. It's just 25 hours of the same shit,
Yeah.
right? So I think we should be focusing smaller games, but on innovation, right? On changing how we play the game. Right?
Yeah.
We don't need these games to be like absolutely fucking massive every single time, right? In fact, a lot of times it kind of backfires
Yeah.
because
That's too big.
it's just fluff, right? You don't have the time to really iron out and polish a lot of these things. Now, some games warrant it, of course. Like Baldur's Gate, you know, it's a huge game, right? It's hundreds and hundreds of hours with like tens of hours of cutscenes and animations to go through. But then I think of like, you know, I know it's a multiplayer game, but like Deep Rock, right?
Yeah.
Like Deep Rock, like it's a good looking game, right? And a lot of these, you know, a lot of games nowadays are like super focused on like, oh, we have to have like the most amazing graphics ever, right? And they haven't really learned that, like, you know, maybe you should focus on art style, right? Innovative
Yes.
and cool art styles. And if you have a really cool art style, right, you can probably mask a lot of, you know, graphical issues that you have.
Yeah.
Like
I agree wholeheartedly.
like the Persona games, like it's all art style, right? Like the actual graphical fidelity isn't all that insane.
Yeah.
It's just the art style. Like the art style is amazing. So like maybe instead of focusing on these super hyper realistic graphics, maybe just go for something a bit more stylized, right? And
Yes.
I know that can still be expensive to do, but I feel like over time, like people can find ways to make it look cool and stylistic, but also make that for cheaper. And how about instead of like making, you know, your game 30 hours of like fluff, make it like a lean 15 hours of fluff. Or like another example, like Final Fantasy Remake, the original, like the first remake, not Rebirth. That game's like 40 hours for like everything, but there's a bit of fluff. Like I love the game, but there is fluff, right? If you do everything, it's like 40 hours. Like, but this could have been condensed down to like a 30-hour, like a good 30-hour game, right? And I feel like because like we're constantly increasing the scope of these games, like we're skewing the perceptions of audiences, right? Because now we have people out there who are like, this game's like 20 hours. I'm not spending $70 on a 20-hour game. It better be fucking 50 hours, right? Even though those 20 hours might be fucking amazing, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just me spitballing here. Like, I'm no expert. I can't even say my solution is really good. It's just an idea. That's all.
Well,
Maybe something worth trying.
No, and I think that's a great idea. And honestly, it kind of falls in line with my point, and as far as like where to put money towards, like, you know, I agree. Instead of putting it towards graphics, it should be put towards art direction and art style because you know, that's timeless. You know, graphics, you know, I think we've discussed this before. The graphics, I think they've kind of like plateaued a bit.
Yeah, like we don't even notice the difference all that
Yeah,
much.
we don't
Like, between
even-
PS4 and PS5, like a lot of times, like I hardly notice the difference.
Yeah, dude. Like even when they unveiled like Unreal Engine 5 from Unreal Engine 4, I was kind of like, I mean, yeah, it looks pretty good, but I mean, really, they showed more like motion capture advances, which was dope. But graphics wise, like, okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, I don't
I
really,
mean, yeah, there's a lot of cool under the hood stuff that
Yeah,
5
but-
can do that 4 can't.
yeah.
But like
as
in
far
terms
as-
of like the fidelity,
I don't see anything. I don't see a difference. So, really, again, I think we're in agreement on that. Like, we should be developers should be smarter about what they put their money towards. So instead of graphics, art direction. Hi-Fi Rush, come on, dude. Like,
Yeah, and it's a $40 game. Like when it came out, right? I think it was 50. I think it was $50.
yeah, it wasn't 60. It was not a $60.
Yeah, it was not a full price game. It was like $40, $50, 10 hours long. Great game.
Easy
Great
peasy.
game.
And replayability. Oh my god, dude. Replayability can get you so much more bang for your buck. So games like Hi-Fi Rush, where you can go back and do the levels. Yes, dude. That's
Hold
where
on,
it's
hold on.
at.
You lagged a little bit. Can you repeat?
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Fine. Just you lagged a
Yeah.
little bit.
Okay. No, what I was saying about replayability in the game will make the consumer feel like, okay, the money that I spent is great because I've sunk so many hours into this game. You know, going back like in Hyper Rush, like going back to do the levels at different difficulties. Then they have like the rhythm tower where you can. It's kind of like different waves, and you have to finish it within a certain time. So, but again, it has to. They have to be smarter about where they spend their money. But you know, the most important thing I still think is recognizing who is actually good at making games and just let them work. Let them work on their art. And if it's bad, then all right, fine, it's bad. But at least you let them work and you gave it an honest try instead of just throwing money at shit that's really not important, you know, like graphics. And I know that's just one example, but I really hope that we're getting the main point across when it comes to this sort of thing.
Yeah. So, okay. I think that's a good point to end the discussion because we've actually been at it for a while at this point.
Well, I mean, hey, man. I mean, this is big stuff, and you know, we've talked a lot of the stuff that we've discussed today. We've discussed before, like kind of, you know, in passing and stuff like that. But now it's kind of like at the forefront, and yeah, and I think really these companies are going to feel it because it does tie into the overall economic problem, I guess, that we're having right now. So people, they're getting more, they're clutching their wallet a lot more. So and also games are rising in price. You know, a lot of these games are $70, Starfield being one of them, and people are starting to really ask like, is this game really worth $70 that I could put towards groceries or some crap like that? And if a lot of people on the internet say that no, it's not even worth 60, then that's an easy no buy. That's an easy $70 saved. So there's also that to consider as well. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well then, how about we move on from here? We're
Absolutely.
gonna talk some more layoffs, huh?
Yes.
Yes,
Layoffs.
more exciting layoffs and unfortunate cancellations. So for our next story, we have EA actually, as of today, like this is literally like last minute, like before I got home, this article came up, right? As of February
Yeah.
28th, 6:01 p.m. I'm sorry, 5:13 p.m. 4 hours before I got home. EA recently announced that they are going to be laying off 5% of their workforce, or roughly 670 individuals. And this has affected a number of projects, as EA has also announced that they will be moving away from licensed games and focusing more on their own brand. So this is actually from IGN here. And, well, the affected game in question is Respawn, the Apex Legends developers, and the Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order developers. It affects their first-person shooter game. So apparently there was a first-person shooter they were making, and it was very kept under the hood. But apparently it was kind of feature a Mandalorian character.
Ooh.
But that will now not be happening, because unfortunately a lot of the team was laid off. However, they did say that the next Star Wars Jedi game, so the sequel to Jedi Survivor, whenever that comes out, is safe. The Black Panther game is safe, and the Iron Man game is also safe. Which I actually don't know who those are being developed by. I don't remember right now. But
I mean,
yeah,
at least according to the article, it sounds like Respawn is also working on those games. But I don't think that's right because that's a lot of games for one studio to be working on at one time. So
yeah, like I said, this was last minute, so I actually didn't really have time to read through it. I got the gist of it though from here, but I mean, if I had a nickel for every time a Mandalorian game, a game of a Mandalorian main character was canceled, I'd have 2 nickels. It's not a lot, but it's weird that it happened,
really
right? It's weird that it happened twice. Right? First, we had the 1313, Star Wars 1313, which was that really cool looking, Uncharted looking Star Wars game where you played as Boba Fett.
Absolutely.
As a young bounty hunter, hunting down targets in what planet? Coruscant. In Coruscant. And that game was canceled after LucasArts went through a restructuring and lost their fucking minds, apparently. And now, unfortunately, we have, another game now with a Mandalorian character that's never going to see the light of day.
Oh my lord, that's crazy to me. It kind of sucks because what was the last Star Wars FPS game? Was it the
Battlefront?
The Jedi?
Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront 2. I mean, it's third person. I guess it doesn't really count. It's third person.
Yeah.
You can't play in first person though.
Yeah, but I was thinking like the Jedi games, like with Kyle Katarn and the Dark Forces.
Dude, that was Jesus Christ. I think that was like Academy.
Academy, yeah.
Bro,
but
that came out like in 2003.
I know, but I think at that point they had already gone to. Well, no, I think it was mostly a first-person game, but it went third-person when you
Yeah, use
turned
a
on your
lightsaber.
lightsaber.
Oh, 2003.
Yeah,
Wow, I was right on the money.
Yeah. Damn.
Fuck, the game's 21 years old. Oh no.
What a time to be a Star Wars fan. Rip.
Oh man. Yeah, the last Jedi, I'm sorry, not the last Jedi. The last first-person shooter that I can remember is Republic Commando.
Oh, you're right. Fuck, I totally forgot about Republic Commando.
And that game
Also
was
great.
Dope. Right?
That game was dope. Actually, I have it on my Steam library.
Yeah, that game
Very
was
good.
it came out in 2005. Man, it's why is it so hard to get Star Wars games, bro?
Well, hey, I mean, we did get some good news recently with the collection that they're releasing in March.
Yes, yeah. Well, yeah, we're not talking about Nintendo, right? At this point. So,
Yeah.
that was for Nintendo Direct. Yeah, they recently announced that they're going to be releasing like a remaster of the Battlefront games as a collection, which is freaking awesome.
Yes.
I can't wait to
the OG.
play that. Yeah, the OG ones.
OG. Let's
good
be
ones.
clear. Let's be clear about that. But well, technically that doesn't count because like it's not just Nintendo Switch that they're releasing it on. So that's why I was kind of like, whatever. But anyway,
Yeah, but they
side
announced that
note.
Direct. That's why I was gonna.
Yeah. You're right. But anyway, side note: Battlefront 1 and 2 OG remastered classic collection edition for dirt cheap. Well, yeah. Anyway, let's continue talking about not good news.
Yeah, I mean, it just continues to suck being a video game fan, a Star Wars fan, because like we just can never get good Star Wars games, man. Like first off, they don't release any Star Wars games because EA had a chokehold on it. They had that 10-year deal, which my god, fucking
Dude.
And then what do we have to show for it? A mobile game, Battlefront 1, Battlefront 2.
And then
And then we have Star Wars Jedi. Yeah, then we have Jedi Fallen Order, which is a good game. It's a good solid game.
Yeah,
and then Survivor is probably a good game if you can get it to run fucking properly on your computer.
I actually haven't. I still haven't bought it just for that. But have they fixed the performance issues on it, or is this still Rocky's? What? No, bro, you gotta be
It's
shitting.
not nearly as bad as it was before, apparently, but it's still like noticeable. Even on console, it's still noticeable.
We'll do. Yeah, my god. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, furthermore, as a result of these cuts, the battlefield teams. So the battlefield teams have also been affected. So they had a guy named Marcus Lefto, I think is his name.
Yes.
I've actually never heard of him. But apparently he was working on the storyline for Battlefield. Like him and his studio was working on the campaign for the narrative. And he recently left a little bit before, or at least around the time of the layoffs. He said it was his own volition, but his studio has been shut down, and a lot of them have been moved over to DICE, so they can work on the Battlefield games.
Mm-hmm.
And Battlefield hasn't really been doing too hot. I mean, it's gotten better. I think it's 2043. I think is what the game's called.
2049. I don't know. It's the future one.
But apparently, it's actually doing much better now. It's in a much better place. I mean, it took them like 3 years to fix the damn game, but apparently it's much better. I mean, thank goodness for EA's sake that Battlefield fans are so loyal and so hardcore, because they stick through it.
Yeah, good for them. I've always been more of a COD player than a Battlefield player, but yeah, good on them. Something interesting that I see in the article is they're using the word sunsetting as a way to say that it's like closing down or stopping these.
Yeah, I mean that's what you're canceling. Like you're just closing it down.
Yeah, but damn, sunsetting? Like who came up with that? Sunsets are beautiful. They're using this. It's just a random thought that just popped in my head. Like, damn, they couldn't just say like, oh yeah, like they're gonna close these games. No, they have to say sunset. Like, ugh. Sorry, don't mind me. Continue.
No, I mean that's pretty much everything up until this point. Yeah. I mean, well, one last thing, I guess. EA reported network bookings of $2.37 billion, up 7% year over year, and net revenue of $1.94 billion, largely driven by EA Sports FC and Madden, right? So they grew, right? But they still got to cut.
Again, they're making them. They have the money. Oh my god. Yeah, it's funny. I read shit like this, and I like secretly want the industry to crash so that we can have a reset. Because goddamn, like this shit pisses me off.
Yeah, no, I feel you. No, I feel you on that. But you know what? Speaking of crashing, we're gonna talk about our next story, right?
Hey, please do.
Yeah, so we have here Suicide Squad, the recently released looter shooter live service thing that released earlier this month, has recently been reported by WB themselves as having fallen short of our expectations. So in other words, they made shit for money on this game. Yeah, so the story behind Suicide Squad Kill Justice League was it was rumored for a while that initially it was a Superman game, and then it was changed to a Suicide Squad game. And initially people were very excited, right? Because it's Rocksteady. Rocksteady made the Batman Arkham games. The Arkham games are like the greatest superhero games of all time.
Yeah.
Made you feel like Batman, right? And then made you really feel like Batman. They introduced this really cool combat system that was highly influential. Tons of games made use of it. That focused more on countering and moving around, and timing your button presses as opposed to like button mashing, which was most games did at the time. But we waited 9 years for their newest game to come out, and it's a fucking another third-person looter shooter game with
trash,
with damage numbers and guns, right? And ever since the initial reveal, people were like, "What the fuck is this? Why am I playing Captain Boomerang and not throwing my boomerang? I'm just flying around shooting purple aliens and their purple pimples." And while it seems that although the game sold well, like copies wise, the player count tells another story. Like we have, you can see here in the Steam charts, right?
Yep.
So it reached an all-time peak of 13,459, which, by the way, for a live service is absolute garbage. Um, and it currently has a 24-hour peak of 587. So
This game is doing awful.
yeah, for perspective, the Batman games I think have more.
Actually, yeah, I think what happened was after this game came out, people went back to play the original Arkham games.
Yeah, so like Arkham Knight has currently 3,166 people playing. Arkham Asylum Game of the Year edition has 1,194. I mean, I think it's right.
Yep.
1,000. Yeah, see, 1,052. So yeah, everyone's like, you know what? I think I'll play Rocksteady's old shit, right? 'Cause this new shit kind of sucks.
New
And then
shit
you have
kind
on
of.
top of that the controversy surrounding how they handled the story and about how they handled the death of certain characters and how people felt it was kind of disrespectful to the legacy of these characters, especially Batman, because for some reason this takes place in the Arkham universe. They thought it was a good idea to have this Kill the Justice League take place in the Arkham universe that you and I and many gamers came to know and love over the span of 10 years. And they just went, all right, we're just going to destroy it all so we can have, you can sell Harley Quinn skins. And then come up with some weird multiverse story where, like, there's 13 other Brainiacs out there in the universe, in the multiverse that we have to destroy, each representing one season, which, good luck getting past 4, buddy.
They won't. They won't make it. They won't even make it to the first one. This just gonna crash and burn. Yeah. No, this game is just awful in every way, shape, and form. The mechanics behind it, the live service mechanics behind it are fucking awful. The story is awful as well. Like, it's like they really looked at every aspect of this game and they're like, okay, what is the worst possible decision that we can make for the live service? Okay, perfect. Story-wise, oh yeah, totally. Let's fucking have these nobodies kill Superman easily
With guns. That's
with
all
guns.
You just shoot him. That's it.
Yeah, just shoot him.
You don't do anything
but
cool. You just shoot him.
Oh, it's called Kryptonite though. Man, stop! Like, please, don't even play that game. Batman, the Arkham Batman, literally the peak Batman. I think
Voiced by Kevin Conroy, who just recently died.
This was literally his last work, which actually adds to the frustration not frustration, to the anger of a lot of people. Like, this was literally his last voice work, and this is what you do. And I saw the cutscene where he gets killed, and wow, like, literally just shat on all the Arkham fans. And again, Arkham Batman, like, literally the best version of Batman that we know, the most ruthless, the best version of Batman that goes through 4 Arkham games, and he dies to that? Get the fuck out of here. Get that shit out of here, bro. It's awful. There's really nothing else to say. It's funny though. It's funny watching this shit happen.
Yeah, it is funny, but it's also like kind of sad because we all know that, like, who's gonna pay the price for this is gonna be Rocksteady, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I think Rocksteady is one of those developers that they're not the Rocksteady that we know. Actually,
yeah, right, because the founders left, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They took a ton of people with them.
Yeah, exactly. Like right before the game launched, they announced their departure and they took people with them. Like, hey, listen, guys, like, that's essentially, that was one of the red flags that we should have seen coming. So we know that this was definitely a game that wasn't actually made by Rocksteady, but more just like a game that they had an idea for, and then WB called the shots on, and now there you go.
Yeah,
it's one of those stories.
Yeah, you get a little bit statistically kind of seeing this game fail because it's another live service game that fails yet again.
Yep.
Right. I mean, with the exception of like Helldivers and some other games, the only good live service game is the dead one.
Yeah, really, honestly. Yep.
Yeah, really, like they really screwed the pooch in this one, huh?
Nah, bro, they screwed the whole fucking kennel. Like this shit sucks.
Because even like a Suicide Squad game sounds kind of cool, right? Like you can
Yeah, like
to play like all these different heroes like in this co-op setting. Go off and do these dangerous missions. But
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weird how they keep insisting on having the Suicide Squad like fight threats that are like way outside their scope, like the movie,
Yes.
right? The,
Yep.
the crappy one, not the good one, not the James Gunn one, the crappy David Ayer one, right? They're fighting
Yep.
like this woman that like this bitch is like popping and locking and stuff, and sorcerer chick that's like takes over the entire city, turns them all into zombies, and like starts some kind of like apocalypse, zombie apocalypse, and they have some chick with a bat, right? A dude that throws
Yeah.
a boomerang around, and
Deadshot.
and a guy who shoots guns really well. Like, what the fuck? Like, how are you gonna?
Yeah, bro. Like that's the kind of shit that you call the Justice League for, not this band of. Yeah.
Like, they should be taking out terrorists and stuff. Smaller, more small scale. More small scale threats, or like in the movie, like the Assault on Arkham,
Which great movie, by the way.
where they just Joker put a bomb in an Arkham Asylum, so now they have to go in and defuse it while apprehending Joker. Like that's cool, right? It's within their scope, right? It's something that they are believably could handle, but like not kill the
still be
entire
hard.
Justice League, man. Come on, Superman and Flash, like Flash and Superman probably mopped the floor with them, like.
Dude,
What
again
else?
and again. Yeah, dude, like exactly. And again, Arkham versus Batman would have destroyed these people in a nanosecond. Do we not remember the Predator missions? Come on, dude. This bat oh my god, whatever. I'll just be talking too much,
Yeah.
saying the same shit over and over again. But yeah, dude, so
Yeah, so with that said, get fucked, right?
yep, get fucked. Again, bad decisions. They dumped money on all the wrong decisions and probably, you know, no, yeah, the wrong decisions because you had the right people there, but you just didn't let them work, and now they left. So
Yeah. Okay, well,
fuck you.
yeah. So that was a confirmed disaster. This next thing we're talking about is an unconfirmed disaster, but it's seemingly is going to be one, because the reception to the latest Borderlands trailer has not been too hot. Now,
Thanks.
granted, you and I haven't seen it, so hey, maybe we'll feel different. We have our own opinions. We're our own people. We don't have to be part of the crowd.
Yeah, of course.
But so recently, as of last week, Lionsgate released a trailer for the latest video game adaptation, Borderlands, which has been kind of surrounded in controversy from the very beginning because of the casting choices that were announced and the fact that this movie kind of went through development hell. Because I feel like this movie's been in development for a while. Like, I think this was announced like in 2016 or something, or like 2017.
Really?
Yeah, dude. This movie was announced
That's
a
a long
long
time.
time ago.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and like it went through reshoots and stuff, and then Eli Roth left, and then they brought in some other guy to do like some reshoots. Yeah, I really don't know what the development timeline is on this. Yeah, when was it? Yeah, dude, 2015 was in talks with Lionsgate.
Oh.
Right? 2015. So I was being
Wow,
generous.
okay. Damn.
Yeah, I was being generous with this. Yeah, 2020, Eli Roth was attached to direct the film. From a screenplay written by Craig Mazin, right? Which this is the Chernobyl guy. Right? He does good
Yeah.
stuff now. But
Yeah.
he also wrote a lot of bullshit before, but that's probably because it was probably like, it was just work. It's like, oh, it's work, whatever, I'll write your bullshit. Just please don't
Yeah.
fire me. Right?
Just don't,
So,
please don't fire me.
and this could be one of those, hey, please don't fire me kind of things. But hey, let's take a look at it, man.
All right, let's go.
Our...
Let's play with our new. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, there's our girl,
Sweet.
Kate Blanchett.
Wait,
All right.
or lunch. Well,
So
anyway.
here's gonna be our first reaction to the Borderlands.
Actually, scrap that. Oh, I can. I really can. Actually, it's helping.
Are we really waiting for this to finish?
Keep looking at me.
Okay. All right, we don't need that. We don't need to fucking spend that long looking at that. Jesus Christ. Okay, so, so I will say, I do like Jack Blacker's Claptrap. I actually do like Claptrap. I actually did laugh twice. Okay, I did laugh twice. Okay, because I don't know. I like Claptrap. People say he's annoying. I kind of like him. But man, these actors, like the casting is kind of distracting. I don't know about you, dude. How do you feel here?
So I actually laughed when I saw when it said from the producers of Uncharted and Venom.
Oh yeah, that's like
I was like,
do you really want to advertise that? Like,
I'm like, yeah, no, no.
yeah, I'm like,
No, not Uncharted or Venom, bro. Like, just do the producers of Spider-Man or whatever. Like, oh my god. So, who is this? Is this the first game that they're adapting?
I think so. It seems like it. But the thing is, like, right there. So there are some. They're definitely the first story, but they seem to have changed the characters around, right? There's no Brick, who's like the the big guy, he's punchy dude, and there's no Mordecai.
Yeah.
And even though, like, I like Brick, right? Like he's a big meathead, but he's likes to punch stuff.
Well, that was the whole charm. Yeah.
He's a big muscle meathead, and then Mordecai is he's really cool, calm, collected kind of guy, and he has a cool bird pet. But they seem to have replaced him with Craig, like the Psycho, and Tiny Tina, which I understand why they got Tiny Tina, because people like Tiny Tina, right? She's a
fan favorite.
Fan favorite, that's the word. Thank you. And I like Tiny Tina for the most part. I know she can get a little annoying sometimes. Some people find her to be annoying. I always kind of liked her. But man, like Kevin Hart. Hold on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, trust me.
All I see is Kevin Hart. Where's that? Where's the little ass? Here, Kevin. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, look at him. All I see is Kevin Hart.
Dude, Kevin Hart. That is a casting choice that was made simply because he has connections in Hollywood, and that's why he's there.
Yeah, like, and cause, like, you think Roland, right? He's big, tall military man. And then you got Kevin Hart, you got little loud ass man.
No, bro. I mean, yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I think again, when I see Kevin there, and I see a casting decision that was made simply because he knows people in Hollywood. Or, oh yeah, I know Dwayne The Rock Johnson, so put me in this fucking movie. Or his agent probably said that, and then he took the part. Oh, man. It just, again, it doesn't make any sense. And then Kate Blanchett, I'm assuming she's playing Lilith.
Yeah.
I like Kate Blanchett, so it's fine, but I just thought Lilith was supposed to be younger?
I mean, they're all supposed to be younger, right? Like,
yeah.
In the first, I think they're all like in their 20s. They're like supposed to be like in their early to mid 20s in the first game.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Kate Blanchett looks great for her age, but still.
But she's a 50-something-year-old woman playing a character that's supposed to be like 20-something. And then you have, Jamie Lee Curtis playing Tannis. Tannis is also supposed to be really young, too.
Yep.
Right? Like, Tannis is like also like in her 20s or 30s. And then Jamie Lee Curtis is like in her 70s, I think, at this point.
Bro, yes. I mean, again, looks awesome for her age. Like, I applaud her and Kate Blanchett. What the fuck what are they doing here? Like, what's happening?
I mean, and assuming you want to make a franchise out of this, like, if this is successful, you want to make future movies with it. You got to think you need the character's age. Like, what next movie comes out like in 4 years, right? like 4 or 5 years if this is successful. You know, you're gonna have Jamie Lee Curtis in a fucking wheelchair, or you're gonna have to like film her like in green screen or in like the retirement home or something. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I think like some of them look good, like what is it? Yeah,
Tiny Tina?
the bands look pretty good. I think some like the costumes look good,
Yeah.
and then they look all right. I mean, some of them look off, like Kevin Hart. Where is he? Yeah, no, I want him in full though, right? So you have like Kevin,
At the beginning of the yeah. Oh my god.
and then yeah, a poop joke that goes on for a little too long. Yeah, very very weird all around. So it's
Yeah.
just weird. That's all I can say. It's just weird. I don't know. I have very mixed feelings.
Yeah,
on
no.
this.
Yeah, but like it's not weird in a good way. Like you want people to be like, "Oh my god, that's so weird. Oh my god, like I love it. I'm excited for it." And no. So yeah, we'll see. We'll we'll see what this entails. But honestly, dude, like as far as like video game adaptations, like they usually bomb pretty hard anyway. I think the only good one was what the Sonic movies and also the Super Mario movie.
Oh, tomorrow we fucking killed it.
Dude, Sonic walked so Mario can run. But then again, they probably would have killed it anyway. But
I mean, it's Mario, and now they're gonna be working on Legend of Zelda.
dude, I'm excited, bro. I'm actually excited.
I'm
They said it was live action, right?
Yeah, that's what makes it be so worried.
Yeah, so that's why I'm concerned. But I'm gonna give them a chance, considering what they have put out. So, sorry, hit my up on my desk. But yeah, but this Borderlands, I'm not gonna lie, like this looks like typical video game adaptation slop that Hollywood puts out just for a tax write-off. Like it, I don't know what else to say. Was that Bobby Lee? Wait a minute.
Where?
Bobby Lee. Hang on.
Where
Go to
where-
the holographic face. Wait.
Oh, the holographic face.
Oh, there it is. That is Bobby Lee.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is. Who is that?
He's a comedian.
Oh, really?
He-
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's one of those comedians that has his own podcast, but it's just weird because like I don't think I've seen him in like a movie role in a while.
Well, it could be his debut.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done movies before, but I haven't seen him in a movie in a while. But damn, dude, that's so weird. Bobby Lee, all right, like, oh, we'll see what happens. But again, I don't. I'm not putting too much stock in this.
All right, when is this coming out?
Didn't they say?
This is coming
Oh.
soon. So we don't know. Yeah, screenplay by Eli Roth and Joe Crombie. Oh, so is that even Greg Madsen's screenplay? Okay.
Well, it was probably a ghostwriter. They probably like took his script and made changes to it, but because it's a different script, they don't credit him. Or maybe I don't know. Like the whole crediting thing is weird. But yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I like this movie. Weird.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm too excited for it though.
I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this movie. I don't think it's going to be good, but I am willing to be proven wrong. It's not like, oh yeah, this movie's going to blow. It's like, nah. But
It's no Madam Web.
Oh my god, bro, no. Madam Web was like everybody and their mom knew it was gonna flop. Dude, oh my god, I totally forgot about Madam Web. Oh my lord. Where do you think it's gonna show up first on the streaming? I don't know if I asked you this already.
What? No, you did not.
Oh, like where do you think it's gonna show up on streaming, like HBO Max or some shit? Because honestly, I want to see it just to fucking laugh.
Oh man, that's a good question. Yeah, probably HBO. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe HBO
Okay.
because it's being produced by Sony.
Yes.
Sony doesn't have their own thing, so
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe.
maybe HBO. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I heard
We'll
that.
see. Yeah, I know. I've heard some shit about that movie.
I've heard some shit and goddamn like fuck. But anyway, um sorry, I'm just thinking about the jump cut that you sent me.
Oh, okay.
You remember like the way that they cut the movie was weird.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that she goes to save herself in the truck.
yeah. She goes, she opens the door, and it immediately cuts to her already inside the car. Like, all right, I'm gonna
So-
cut you loose. Like, wait, what? What the fuck? How is this a movie?
That
A
is most
professional editor
definitely
did this?
no, dude. That's most definitely one, a tax write-off, and two, a cheap Spider-Man universe movie so that they can keep the rights to Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that's 100%. That's what it is. They just want to
Yeah.
hold the license.
Oh my
That's it.
God.
They just
And
and they want to justify their Spider-Verse so much.
the Spider-Verse without Spider-Man.
Yeah, without Spider-Man.
Anyway,
See, so
Yeah.
we could be Marvel too. No, you can't. Shut up, Sony.
no, you can't, especially not without Spider-Man. So fucking shut your mouth. Oh my God.
All right, so you ready to sign us off? I think that's about it.
Yes, sirree, man. Honestly, that was a pretty good note.
Yep.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining us today on our debut in OBS. We really appreciate you guys, watching us and listening to us. Be sure to hit like and subscribe down below. Leave a comment for anything that you want us to cover in the future, and you can also find us on not just YouTube but Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as well. And yeah, and we look forward to covering more stuff with OBS. This actually was pretty dope. So we can't wait for you guys to take the journey with us. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you once again. Really cool to be using OBS. With that, thank you everyone once again for listening to us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Peace.
Liberty, look after you all.
Yes, liberty. So be sure to go spread some liberty democracy.
Only $40. Go.
Only $40. Go.